Hey everyone, it's Keith here. In today's video, we're taking a look at what I carry in my tech backpack when I create these YouTube videos. For my setup, I usually carry two bags, this one and a camera bag, which I've previously covered on my YouTube channel. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. The backpack of my choice is the 25-litre Weekender backpack from Sympl. This backpack has a good amount of storage and the materials make this a solid work and adventure backpack. I'll share more of my thoughts on this bag at the end of the video, but for now, let's take a look at what's inside. First up, in the side access laptop compartment, I store my 2021 M1 14-inch MacBook Pro. This is the most recent addition to my setup. This is the fully spec'd out model with an M1 Max chip with 64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. I upgraded to this new laptop from my 2013 MacBook Pro, and this laptop has been amazing. The M1 MacBook Pro can handle everything I can throw at it, like video editing and exporting, and it hasn't struggled at all. I usually edit all of my videos on a Windows desktop at home, but now I'm slowly transitioning all of my editing to this laptop. Moving down the side of the bag, here I've got my water bowl. This is the 16-ounce traveler bottle from Sympl. It's a triple wall insulated bottle that can keep my drink hot for 9 hours and cold for 20 hours. It has a wide mouth, making it easier to clean the inside or add ice cubes to my drink. I've had this Sympl water bottle for many years and I have zero complaints. This backpack has a secret access compartment on the side and a pocket on the front panel. I usually keep these pockets empty since I don't have anything to store in them. Moving to the top of the bag, there's a small pocket here. I usually use this as a quick access pocket to store any small delicate items. It's got a faux fur lining inside and it's a great spot for a pair of sunnies or a phone. Moving over to the front compartment, this backpack has an admin section with tons of organization and I store some of my tech accessories in here. The first one is the Royal Kludge RK61 keyboard. I've recently dabbled into the world of mechanical keyboards and this one was one of the more easily accessible entry-level keyboards. This has a 60% layout and I love its compact size for traveling. The one I have here has the brown tactile switches and the typing experience is pretty amazing, especially for its price. Another highlight of this keyboard is its connectivity. You can run it wired, Bluetooth or 2.4 GHz wireless. It can also connect up to 3 devices and I can easily switch between my MacBook Pro and iPad mini. It's a very nice keyboard for the price and I don't mind carrying it in my backpack even though a low profile keyboard is more carry friendly. Along the top, I have an Olight i5R clipped on the elastic loop. This is a 350 lumen light with a USB-C rechargeable battery. I love the gunmetal grey colorway and the milling on the body feels good in hand. It's a small light perfect for pocket carry, but I keep it in my backpack in case I need a light to find any gear in the dark. Moving along the loops, here I have a SmallRig short HDMI cable in case I need to plug my laptop or Sony FX30 into a monitor. I rarely ever need to use it and this cable is for emergency only. At the very end, I have a Ridge bolt action pen in case I need to write down important reminders, notes, or ideas. The one I have here is the matte olive finish and it looks good with the yellow accent on the bolt. The action feels solid and snappy and it's very fidgety. This Ridge bolt action pen is pretty solid and there are heaps of color and material options to choose from. Moving down the admin section, I keep a Logitech G305 wireless mouse in this neoprene slot. This is an affordable and lightweight mouse, perfect for gaming. Although for this setup, I don't play any games on my MacBook Pro. At home, I have a second G305 in the black colorway, and it's fantastic for FPS games. This mouse runs on a single AA battery, and the battery performance is pretty decent. The G305 is a good mouse for its price. Next to the mouse, in the zippered section, I store my Samsung T7 SSD. This SSD has all of the video files and project files for projects I'm working on. It's got fast read-write speeds, but the only thing I'm concerned about is how hot it can get when video editing. Besides that, I've enjoyed using the T7 SSD, and luckily I haven't run into any issues with it so far. And that's all of the tech accessories I keep in the front admin section. There are a few more slots and zippered pockets, but I keep them empty. I try not to store too much gear in the dedicated slots because I always rotate my other EDC backpacks and there's a very high chance I forget where things are stored. Moving into the main compartment, I usually keep 4 to 5 pouches for my setup. Whenever I arrive in the studio to film, I empty this main compartment. I take out all of the pouches and work out of them. The first pouch at the top is the Alpaka Pencil Case Pro. In here, I've got my HeyMix 120 watt GAN charger with the included USB-C cable and extension cable. This is an affordable GAN charger, powerful enough to charge my MacBook Pro. Even though it has multiple ports, at the most I only use 2 ports since adding more ports lowers the output and I won't be able to take advantage of the 100 watt charging for my laptop. Overall, this GAN charger is pretty solid and it's very affordable. The Alpaka Pencil Case Pro is probably one of the most underrated pouches. It might not be the most useful for most people, but if you have a use for it, it's a great pouch. The top section is a good spot to dump random things like pens, chargers, and cables. On the bottom side, it has a few slots for flatter items like a ruler or even a power bank. This Alpaka pencil case works great as a pencil case, but also works well as a minimal tech pouch setup. The second pouch I carry is the Alpaka Admin Pouch. I've previously covered this pouch in my winter EDC video, however if you haven't seen that one, in that video I talked about finally putting together a maintenance pouch for my gear and props, and here's what's inside. For general maintenance, I have a cleaning cloth, a James Brand Ellis to cut any loose threads, and a titanium pry bar. For camera gear, I have different sized Allen keys for small rig gear and tripod plates. For my watches, I have a spring bar tool and a 1.2mm flathead screwdriver to adjust the links on bracelets. Lastly, I have a precision screwdriver for my knives. This maintenance pouch covers everything I need for my gear and props, and all of my tools are organized neatly in this admin pouch. The next pouch I carry in this backpack is the Alpaka Elements Tech Case in Grey X Pack. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I've already made an in-depth video covering what I carry inside this pouch. Inside, I store a few important tech essentials like my iPad mini, USB-C hub, and Moondrop Chew in-ear monitors. If you want to learn more about what's inside this pouch, you can check out the full video in the top info card. At the bottom of the backpack, I store my Alpaka Elements Tech Case Max in dark green X Pack. This is the larger version of the previous tech pouch. One thing I love about this pouch is the integrated handle. It makes it so much easier to grab from my backpack since it sits at the very bottom. I don't need to fish out this case, and all I need to do is find the handle. For this tech pouch, I use it to store my gear and props I need for my YouTube videos. This includes products I'm talking about and props I use in the background of my B-roll. The Tech Case Max has a few slots and compartments for different sized gear. Similar to the other Elements Tech Case, it uses an accordion style organization and I love how useful it is. The biggest difference between the two cases is that the Tech Case Max has wider sections to store bulkier items like a pair of foldable headphones, wall chargers, or a mouse. For my setup, the gear in this pouch changes all of the time depending on the video I make. For more delicate items like a knife or a watch, I store them in these cases that came with my knife from Civivi and Wii inside the tech pouch. These are great pouches with a fur lining to protect the gear inside. If the Tech Case Max doesn't fit all of my gear, I'll also bring along my RZE Pouch with a very cool Godzilla patch from BroTac Gear. This pouch came with my RZE watch and it's got tons of slots for smaller gear like pens and multi-tools. It's a pretty nice pouch and it has a large hook and loop panel for anyone who loves to show off the Ranger eyes and patches. I'm not into collecting patches, but I recently received this Godzilla one from BroTac and now it lives on this pouch. At home, I have a second RZE pouch and this Godzilla patch makes it easier to differentiate the two pouches. Inside the main compartment, there's not much organization in this area besides a document slot towards the back panel. I usually keep this slot empty, however on a recent trip to Sydney, I managed to fit a 15-inch portable monitor. Having the space to fit a second monitor made the trip much more productive. And that's all of the gear I carry in the main compartment. It's just a bunch of pouches with all of my essentials to make these YouTube videos. And that covers all of the gear and tech essentials I carry in this backpack for my YouTube setup. Now let's talk about the Sympl Weekender backpack. This is one of the best work and adventure backpacks I've tested. It's a 25-liter backpack and there's tons of space with organization. At the moment, I've configured my setup for YouTube, but you can easily configure it for a weekend trip with packing cubes, camera insert, or pouches. The exterior material is a waterproof recycled Cordura with a TPU coating which gives off a subtle sheen. It's also got YKK AquaGuard zippers to protect your gear from the elements. For me, this backpack fits me perfectly. For reference, I'm 165 centimeters tall and the back panel rests comfortably on my lower back. If the panel was any taller, the fit would have been a bit awkward to carry. With my full loadout, this backpack can get very heavy very quickly. The backpack still feels comfortable with the help of the molded EVA back panel and the thick padded shoulder straps. Luckily, I'm not carrying this heavy setup for hours each day. At most, I'm probably carrying it for maybe 15 to 30 minutes a day. Over the past 10 months, I've really enjoyed using this backpack for my YouTube content creation. However, there are two minor nitpicks. The first one is that with a wider bottle in the external holder, it can sometimes push into the main compartment and take up a small amount of space. The second nitpick is the external pocket on the opposite side. This one isn't expandable like the bottle holder and it's very narrow. I don't get much use out of this pocket besides maybe storing an umbrella. I'd love to see the same expandable pockets on both sides, and I would probably even carry a second water bottle with this setup. Besides the two minor nitpicks, this is a fantastic work and adventure backpack and I recommend checking it out. Let me know your thoughts on my backpack setup in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy the video on the screen where I go into detail about my tech pouch setup. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.